vital that we do everything we have in our power to get Peter Chowney elected on Thursday. Imagine how much better our lives in Hastings and Rye will be with Peter speaking for us in Parliament. Today we're talking about education. It's a massive issue for us, especially in Hastings and Rye, but especially for those of us who work in schools and our colleges and the parents of children and young people who attend them. So first of all, I want to say the biggest thank you to all our teachers and teaching staff. We see you working morning to night and through the holidays. We see you going the extra mile for our children, giving up your own time and money due to poor working conditions and funding cuts. We know that things have become so stressful for you that a fifth of you are considering leaving the profession in the next 2 years, and that rises to 2/5 of you within the next 5 years. I want you to know that the Labour Party has your back. And when we win on Thursday, things are going to change for you for the better. You deserve our respect. You deserve to be treated as the professionals you are, and not to have your judgment second-guessed by people in executive positions looking for profit. Now we need to talk about our children. Our children enter formal education at the age of 4. For many, it's the first time they've been away from their loved ones, and yet in the first 6 weeks of starting school, they face their first test. And this is the first of many, many tests they will encounter during their time at school. I'm sure we all remember being at school and having the weekly spelling test or your weekly adding test. And I'm not talking about those kinds of tests. I'm talking about unnecessary tests set by government solely to measure school performance. Our schools have changed from places where children could learn how to experiment, to grow, to of course study and learn how to learn, to a place of increasing stress where teachers are forced to teach to the test, which means narrowing of our curriculum. There's certainly no place for music, arts and creativity. Our children are being judged as soon as they enter the school system, so it's no wonder we have an ever-increasing issue of poor mental health and behaviour issues. But this can have a lasting impact through their lives, and it can limit their aspirations. It doesn't have to be this way. A Labour government will get rid of SATs and tests for 4-year-olds. It will get rid of Ofsted and replace it with a far more balanced and accountable system to assess our schools. Teachers will be given the respect and autonomy they deserve. Labour will put mental health counsellors into schools to support our children, and this is the biggest one. Labour will ensure our schools are properly funded and end these cruel cuts. No more teachers having to ask for donations at the school gates for textbooks. Instead, we'll have free school dinners for all primary school children. Let's end the stigma of free school dinners. And let's have proper support for our children. Under Labour, we will see the creation of a national education service, enshrined in law, just like our National Health Service. And like the NHS, the NES will not be about profit margins and CEOs. It will be there to provide the lifelong improvement of our society, because education is its own reward, and one that benefits everybody. So, from Sure Start centres to free, proper provision of childcare for 2, 3 and 4-year-olds, from reducing class sizes to a maximum of 30, to proper support for all our children with special educational needs and disabilities. Let's break down the barriers to enable all children to achieve their potential. And to top all of this off, we will reinstall bursaries for nurses, scrap university tuition fees, and give adults 6 years of free education at any point in their adult lives. And one more thing that I think is very relevant in Hastings and Rye, let's bring academies back under local control. Let's make them fully accountable to the communities they are supposed to serve. Education is a fundamental right. And when the system is properly funded and run correctly, we all benefit. Thank you. And now, please keep the clapping going, because here is Peter Chowney, our next MP for Hastings and Rye.